Previously on Game of Thrones. Stannis Baratheon gets his comeuppance delivered by Brienne of Tarth. Suppose it's too late to apologize for the whole smoke demon thing, huh? In retrospect, probably shouldn't have sacrificed my daughter to the fire god either. Stupid red woman. Ah! Jon Snow gets stabbed a lot and is left for dead in the snows of Castle Black.
See, I told you that I was dead. Nobody believed me that I was dead. I've said it for a year that I was dead. Why doesn't anyone believe me that I'm dead?
Dany's rescue from the fighting pits atop her dragon doesn't end exactly as she thought it would.
Leaving me out in the middle of nowhere is not much of a rescue! Even male dragons can't ask for directions. Huh?
Leaving Tyrion in charge at Marine. I hope it doesn't go to his head.
Space pads! Space pads! I am wearing space pads!
Plus, that friend of yours that is always talking about, oh, I know how it's going to end because I read the books. Well, ha ha, sucker, because the book for this one hasn't come out yet. Now no one knows what's gonna happen. That's right, it's time to get excited. Here it comes. It's season 6 of Game of Thrones, episode 1, The Red Woman. All right, welcome to Dee's review of Game of Thrones. So excited about this season. First off, spoilers ahead, just so you've been warned. Very chunky, nice, very excited about this episode. First of all, of course, it has been a year since we saw last season, so a lot of anticipation coming. And they start this season off exactly where season 5 left off. No time has changed. And we see this, of course, as Davos steps outside, hearing a ghost scratching and howling to find the body of Jon Snow. Bled out, laying in the snow, cold, dead. And Jon's buddies come up, grab him, and they pull him up into the room to discuss what the next move is. And of course, this is going to be all about getting revenge for them. They say pretty much straight out, they know none of them are going to get out of here alive. They were too close to Jon. The new Lord Commander, dick that he is, who just, gladly tells everybody, yeah, I killed him, so what? A little bit more than that. Yes, he posed up the idea that Jon Snow did help with the wildlings, and this is not something that anything has happened before. But still, the point is, he is just accepting the damage that he has done. He has killed his Lord Commander. And unfortunately, the rest of the Night's Watch seem to, well, not necessarily too happy about it, aren't really ready to fight about this either. So we've got Davos and Jon's companions pretty much stuck in the room all by themselves. There is no one that can help them. Well, not really, as Davos points out. Who else owes Jon Snow? And that's the wildlings. The ones that helping them cost Jon Snow his life. However, they owe Snow. So that is who they're running out to. That's the one guy that ran out is going to let them know, to get them. So it looks like we may have another wildling attack on Castle Black coming up. But mainly what this episode is really about is setting up the season. There's not a whole lot of time. There's basically 9 little sequences that go out, 9 little stories that are being told throughout this episode. And for the length of time they have, that's like 5 minutes per bit. You're not getting a lot of real development in this episode. Again, it's really just setting up all of the challenges of what is going to come forward. Showing where everybody is, the challenges that they're going to have to face and overcome as this season progresses. So, now that we've dealt with Jon Snow, let's go right off to Ramsay Bolton, who is now dealing with the fact that Reek and Sansa have just taken off. And old Daddy Bolton is not necessarily too supportive of Ramsay in this. Basically lets him know straight off, hey, if you can't find Sansa, you can't find an heir. And if you don't have an heir, then you are useless to me. Really, just a supporting, loving family here. So Ramsay's gotta get Sansa back. Sending the dog, sending his people out to chase them down. And so we have Reek and Sansa moving through the forest, crossing frigid rivers. Reek really stepping up. You know, Theon has dug himself a hole. I'm not sure if really overall he's going to be able to redeem himself completely, really pull himself out of it. And you could even argue that Theon is dead. And this is now Reek. Very two different people. And Reek has had enough, you know, and he is willing to do whatever it is to keep Sansa safe. And I really do appreciate it, including, you know, pushing her into the tree branch saying, look, they're coming, I will go lead them out. Didn't really work out as well. They're right around the corner. It's not like they're going to believe what Reek has to say at this point. But it does buy just enough time for Brienne to come and just take them all out. Her and Podrick. Nice fight sequence. Very brutal. I love the fact that Brienne gets knocked down, almost out, and then recovers and comes back, really showing a dynamic and evolution, not just a single strong person, hi, kill everyone I run into, but in actual challenges. You know, it's much more interesting to see a heroic figure get beaten down and stand back up instead of just walking in and just cutting swaths through people. So I really loved how that was done. And then that final little bit where Brienne is finally able to lay down her sword and offer her services to Sansa. And they're trying to do the actual requisite bit, which of course Brienne's all about, and Sansa's still frozen, you know, terrified, exhausted, trying to remember the right words, and Podrick just standing on the side like, you say this, blah, 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 blah. It just a really kind of nice bonding moment. And this is, to me, a sign of girl power in the North. Hashtag girl power. Sansa in charge with Brienne right behind her. Really nice power coupling right there. And of course, their plan is to head up to Castle Black, where Jon Snow is the Lord Commander. That's not going to end up really well. But who knows? I mean, Davos might step up. We have to wait and sort of see with there. Meanwhile, Cersei gets reunited with her daughter, not in the way that she thought. Very heartbreaking scene as she runs down to the beach and just looks up, waiting as the boat comes up, and you can just see her face drop because there's Jaime standing at the bow with a draped body behind him and, you know, instantly knowing the horrors that just happened. The mistake that the ladies of Dorne, that the Sand Snakes may have made, though, is in pissing Jaime off. You remember at the end of last season, the girl came up and acknowledged that Jaime was her father. How proud she was. That, look, I'm starting to tear up myself. How proud she was that he was her father, and then, you know, calls him dad, and then, gone. So this just rips the heart out of Jaime, and you may see the return of crazy Jaime, of mad Jaime. I know he's just got the one hand, but that not being enough to stop him now. You've killed his daughter in his arms. This is not gonna go well for the Sand Snakes. And the Sands just, you know, kind of continuing their little reign of terror at the moment. Oberyn just takes out Dorne right there. Oh, as he's reading the little note, hey, wait a minute, somebody's dead. You know, the rest of the Sands, they take out the guards and do it right in front of everybody else. You know, which she follows up with her statement, you know, of like, you haven't been outside long enough, you know, everybody hates you. Look, I've just killed you in front of a bunch of people and none of them are doing anything about it. Then of course, the sun goes, you know, I love that the two girls come up, we're here to kill you, and he thinks he can face off with one of them? No, they're here to kill you. Don't turn your back on that one or just... Again, that's all I could think about as he was facing off with the girl with the sand with the whip, was just like, okay, it's just gonna be you and me, and all I'm thinking is, no, don't circle around, you've got your back to the... Okay, now you're dead. Of course, Marjorie Tyrell is stuck dealing with the old sparrow there, which, who is just creepy. Just creepy in the cell. Oh, okay, well, not sorry yet. Well, you've made a step, but you've got a long way to go. We're just going to leave you here tortured in this little box with the crazy nuns. I cannot wait for Cersei to send the Mountain in there to just wipe all those people out. I mean, that's just, you're not being very religious. You're not being very morally centered to be torturing people in order to get them to confess. That's my viewpoint. Whatever. But that's going to be obviously Marjorie's little bit during this, trying to find out what has happened to her brother and getting out of the High Sparrow's dungeons. And Tyrion and Varys just wandering through the towns. This is very nice. I love it. Oh, we're dressed as merchants. No one's going to recognize us. How many dwarves are walking around with bald guys? Nobody in the town really knows them. They had just shown up, so it's not like they've already made a big statement. I think this is the one time where they could actually wander through the town. And I love that little bit with the kid where you can just imagine the mom's like, oh my god, the little dwarf wants to eat my baby. No! Just a great little sequence. I love Varys just stepping up. No, his Valyrian is terrible. He just wants to give you money. But what really what this does is, again, showing how smart and observant Tyrion was. He was an excellent hand of the king back in King's Landing. And I think really stepping into this role is what he is meant to do. And he just shows a very quick understanding of the enemies that are in town, who they're up against, what people want, and the dangers that are here, especially now that Dany is gone. There's nowhere in this city to go where somebody doesn't want to kill you. Of course, while he's saying that, he is being observed by someone in one of the rooms. And of course, we don't get to see anything about that. Is it one of the Sons of the Harpy? Is this someone else who is watching them? They're definitely being observed. So not entirely safe, not as Tyrion might think it is. But before anything might develop there, that's when the crowd runs off. We see the smoke and see that the harbor has been set afire. All of the ships are burning. How does that happen? One, it just shows the tough position that they are in, that they're really kind of cornered. I think is kind of the imagery that this is really being portrayed. They're on their own. There's no escaping. There's no getting out. They have to deal with whatever is going on with Marine, and they've got to deal with it themselves. But who started the fires? I mean, one thought, could it have been a dragon? I was trying to listen to the crowds as they were running through. I didn't grab anything that picked up. We didn't see any wings that went over, and usually there's some indication when the dragons are causing damage of people saying, oh my god, it's the dragons. So is this some other form of sabotage? And again, is this the Sons of the Harpy continuing their on, trying to maybe trap everybody into town? Is this the Freemen? Is this a whole other group? So again, these are the challenges that we're going to be finding out with Tyrion and Varys is dealing with the situation in Marine without Dany. How can he pull the city together? How can he deal with the complications with the enemies that are really literally at their doorsteps? Then we have Mormont and Daario trying to track down Dany, basically following the burnt animal corpses north to try and track down what has happened to her. And just a little character bit there, Daario trying to find Mormont, acknowledging, yeah, you know why I'm after her, because I love her, and she doesn't love me, and yeah, that kind of sucks. So, little male bonding moment during the search right there. But that's where they come across the signs of the Dothraki horde, and seeing that they are the ones that now have Daenerys. And I love the little bit of Daenerys wandering around. Just kind of the classic trope of, I know what you're saying, but I'm going to let you do all of your insulting and stuff, so later on, after you finish the whole bit, then I can pop up with my perfectly spoken Dothraki and put you in your place. Which almost goes the way that she wants it to, as the new call comes up and says, oh, I'm going to take you and you're going to be mine. And then she's like, no, you're not, because I was called Drago's girl and you ain't touching me. which was a great little moment right there. Very kind of cool. Now, I don't know how many Dothraki hordes there are. I really thought that there was just one giant horde, so that they didn't recognize her or know about her. I mean, sort of a white-haired queen girl, not very common in this part of the world. But I don't know. I don't know enough about the organization of the Dothraki culture to know if there's one horde or several hordes that meet up occasionally. Point being, though, this doesn't exactly go the way that Dany had wanted, because she was just assuming, yes, you can't touch me, and I will reward you if you just take me back to Meereen. And they go, oh, no, 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 all the Call Widows, they're supposed to be in this one little town just sort of hanging out. So that's going to be Dany's challenge, is first of all getting to this town, surviving and escaping, which of course will be when Daario and Mormont show up to grab her. And then Arya, my favorite person in the show next to Tyrion. Arya dealing with being blinded by the Faceless Ones, having to learn her lessons and learning them the hard way. And really what it comes down to is learning to use her other senses. Yes, your sight has been taken, but can you hear the conversations? Can you hear, are they talking about you? What is being said? Followed up by the first lesson of blind stick fighting. Another great warrior skill that once she's mastered is going to make her a new badass, but she's not going to learn any of these lessons well. And that's going to be Arya's little bit. Again, that constant lesson of humility. But learning lessons nonetheless, still developing, becoming a better killer, a better assassin, a better Arya. These, again, are the big main sequences. All these characters, everything that they're going to be hitting on, everything they're going to be dealing with this season. The whole episode really just big setup. Except for the last big reveal. Again, another setup, but still a very big reveal. As the new Lord Commander goes and tries and gives Davos and the men, an ultimatum. I need your answer by midnight. And I love his bit. Mutton. I need mutton. I'm not a good hunter. You're going to give me a horse? I need mutton as well. Just asking, just poking at him. And he does. He's just trying to buy time. The other men don't know how they could possibly get out of this. Davos does bring up here the Red Woman. You don't know what she has done. Davos doesn't like her, but he does have to recognize that she does have a certain amount of power. She's not just a talker. There is something that she can deliver. But she's not in a really good space right now. She has lost Stannis. The sacrifice for the kid didn't go that well. She just saw the body of Jon Snow, who she saw in the flames fighting at Winterfell. So all of her belief system is now being challenged, which is why, at gazing at her naked self in the mirror, she removes her necklace to reveal who she really is. A really, really, really old woman. How she's even still alive. There can only be magical answers for that. And I think this is her kind of that revelation of like, I'm casting aside all that I've believed in, and I'm going to go and just lay down and sleep. Now, my question with the necklace is that keeping her young? So by taking it off, she returns to her actual age? Or is it just a glamour? Is it just an illusion generating device where she always looks like this, is always like that, but with a necklace on, that is just then how other people see it? Is that an illusion creator, or is it like a youth creator? I'm not really sure where the magic in that manifests. And the only reason I think about that is because when she took it off and went to lay down, part of me was thinking, is she laying down to die? Now without this necklace on, can she just go and die of old age? Was this the protection that she had? Or is this more of, I'm currently casting aside my belief in the Lord of Light, and I'm just going to be me right now? I wasn't really sure where that was going, because it could go either direction. But it's definitely a challenge of faith for her, whether she's going to be able to pull out of it or not, whether we even want her to pull out of it. I mean, she's inspired a lot of bad things to happen. She's definitely very creepy. She's very big on the human sacrifices bit. But that is part of her belief system. And if anything, this is showing that there is a truth to that belief system, that there is actual magic going on. So the reveal does a lot of different things. We get to see a bit more about Melisandre, but we also get to see a lot more of the truth of the magic that she is wielding. Now, again, where that is going to go over the next course of the season, if that is going to be something they could bring back. I know there's a lot of thought that she could be the one that brings Jon Snow back to life. Maybe that is. Maybe it's someone else. We did see that other priest that worships the Lord of Light was also able to bring that one warrior back. So could be him, could be someone else, or Jon Snow's dead. And we're just going to all have to deal with it. My only challenge is that with having Jon Snow dead is we don't really care about the Wall anymore. We do have Davos there and Jon's friends and stuff, and that is a little bit of a link with the wildlings. But from a character standpoint, Jon Snow was kind of the central bit at the Wall. Without him, I'm not sure if we really have so much of a vested interest, excuse me, of what it is that happens at the Wall. So that's the only real reason that I'm thinking that he might come back, or he could have just spent several months playing a corpse up in Ireland. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But still a great setup for the rest of this season. A lot of stuff's going to be going on. We got the power women of the North. We got Arya learning how to fight blind and with not all of her senses. We got Tyrion dealing with Meereen. We got Jaime's going for revenge. Oh, there's just so much wonderful stuff to look forward to, and we are going to be talking about it right here. Please press like if you did enjoy this review. Subscribe, come back every week. We got 10 episodes coming up in front of us. We're going to be going through them all. Comments in the section below. What do you think? What are your expectations for the season? How did you think everything was going to happen out? Do you like this setup? Is there something else that you wanted to see? Let's talk about it, and I'll try and throw a few of those comments and answers next week here on the show. Meanwhile, you can check out some of the other things that I have done if you want. Reviews of Fear the Walking Dead. I'm also doing every Sunday. You can check that out here. We're also doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You can check those reviews out right here. And if you're interested, I'll also throw in a link right here for that SNL skit with with Peter Dinklage dancing. See, SNL, I'm showing you some love. How about tossing a little back my way, huh? Anyway, that's it, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you guys next week. I'm D. You can catch me on Twitter. I'm @Darren Jakes. On that, I'll see you next week. Take it easy. Bye-bye.